whole year went by and I didn't have one audition. I just sounded so country. I didn't even have one audition.
No, you're supposed to say, I ain't had one audition.
I had one audition.
I am proud to be the gay son of God.
Well, apparently we've got someone calling in right now. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
A little bit of love goes a long way.
Welcome, RuPaul.
We are smack dab in the middle of our 3-week summer test run, and if you are having fun, tweet us, show us some love, at RuPaul Show. It's as simple as that. Now, I love how you all strutted out here on this runway. You acting as if the world is your runway. And I love that. That's how you live life. Now it's time to pick my slay of the day. I've seen all y'all, but I got one person who just slayed it today. That person is right there. You lady with the stripes on. Come on down here, mama. Watch your step there. Watch your step. Look at you. Yes. Hi. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Sabrina. I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
From the BK, y'all. She's from the BK. And I saw you slay this runway. You look so good. You pulled it together. Where'd you get your style? Your mom or your daddy?
My uncle, actually.
Your uncle?
Yes.
I think I know your uncle. What's his name?
His name's Domingo.
Domingo. I love that lipstick. Is that Jeffree Star? What's the one, Michelle? Androgyny?
It's not. It's actually from CVS.
Hey, listen, you work it however you can. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're going to have you walk the runway, okay? You go back there. I'm going to go over there. Okay? All right. You ready? Hit it, mama. Yeah. Woo! She looks good. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Wow, she looks good.
Yeah.
Of course she's from Brooklyn.
Domingo.
Of course she's from
Brooklyn in the house.
Hello, family.
Hi, baby.
Look how cute you are.
Thanks.
Oh, Michelle, you're working the jeans couture.
With a pump.
With a pump.
Yes.
That is the true sign of a streetwalker. Yes.
She got him from Uncle Domingo.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Okay, here we go. Now, she breaks our hearts every week on TV's biggest tearjerker, This Is Us. Please welcome Chrissy Metz.
A little bit of love goes a long way. Lifting you up to a brighter day. A little bit of love goes a long, long way. Turn it around.
Chrissy Metz, my goodness, Gainesville, Florida.
That's right.
Oh my
That's
God,
right.
do you ever get back to Gainesville?
Yeah, and the surrounding areas, High Springs and
Hot Springs?
High Springs.
Oh, High Springs.
High Springs.
Hey, word.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
High Springs.
That's right, yeah. No, I do when I can.
And
yeah.
your family's still down there and
Yeah, all
everything?
my family's still there.
Wait, when you were growing up there, did you imagine at all? First of all, were you thinking, okay, I have to get the heck out of High Springs? Were you thinking that?
Well, it's interesting. I went to an open call with my sister who wanted to be a model.
Yeah.
We have different dads.
Oh, okay.
So, right.
Yeah.
So she's tall and thin.
Uh-huh.
And so I took her because I was like, yeah, this fine. I'm babysitting you, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
The manager came out and she's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, nothing. And like in my heart, I was like, please take me away.
Yes.
Take me away.
Yeah.
But I was too afraid of my own shadow. And so lo and behold, I ended up auditioning for her, and then the rest is history. But
really?
Yeah. So I mean, I think in my heart I always knew, but
Yeah.
I was so afraid to even like take that leap or ever believe in myself that I needed somebody else to believe in me. So
Isn't that interesting? You know how many people have that same story? Not where it actually you turn into a star, but to where you have an impulse and you are too afraid to follow it.
yeah.
So in this case, it was someone else who said, take my hand.
Right.
But you had the courage to say, yes, and I will take your hand.
Well, my sister was like, yes, you do sing. Yes, you do act. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Had
But-
you always acted and sang in church and all that kind of
No,
stuff?
I mean, I sang in choir and stuff in school, but I was too afraid to sort of do the solos or be in musical theater, which I would have loved to have done.
Yeah.
I was just too
What were
too
you afraid of?
I think just rejection or like not getting, you know, the validation. Of course, like we're always seeking external validation. And I realized like it doesn't matter what anybody thinks, like you have to have it first.
Yeah.
And so it took me a minute to like, I just didn't have any confidence about it.
Yeah.
you know?
Do you have that confidence now?
I mean, it goes in waves.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Sure.
You know, some days I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even they asked me to walk this runway, right? Like all of you guys did, which was incredible. I was like, I can't follow them. I cannot follow him. I'm going to walk on this side. I'm going to walk right here. So like, there are some days where I'm like, yeah, like I'm feeling good. And I think that comes from like preparation. And then also just, sometimes you wake up on the right side of the bed.
Sure.
You know?
Sometimes
So-
just blood sugar, honey.
Sometimes you just need some, exactly.
I just need a candy bar.
That's right.
And-
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right.
What made you move to LA?
Oh, well, I came out to find an agent. So we did a whole showcase with a woman that I found in Florida. And it's very funny because I was like, everyone's like, oh yeah, she's going to be the last person to find an agent. Like, please.
Oh,
like,
my
all, you know,
goodness.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine now.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I ended up just doing the showcase and then found an agent. But then, lo and behold, my agent needed an assistant. And my manager was like, oh, well, why don't you be her assistant? And I'm like, nobody came out here to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't believe in me? You don't try? Like, what? I was like, okay, fine. So I took a 9-year detour and became a talent agent.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was, not that I couldn't work with the general public because I love people.
Yeah.
But I was like, can I wait tables and actually afford rent in LA?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So
You said you love people?
I love people.
Do you really?
I really do.
I mean,
No, I
do
do.
you really?
I really do.
Yeah.
That laugh was brilliant. No, I really do. And I
Yeah.
do. I think that we're all, we're all going through things, right? Like it's
Sure.
all a journey, and some of us are more troubled than others, but we meet different people on different frequencies at different times. But I do innately believe that like we're all really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you took a 9-year detour.
Yeah.
But at one point you had very little money in the bank.
Right. So I was a talent agent. Then I did American Horror Story, for 5 episodes. And I thought, ooh, my life is going to pop.
Hey, yeah.
Now, a whole year went by and I didn't even have one audition. I just sounded so country. I didn't even have one audition. I just got back from Nashville anyway, it's fine. I did not have one audition. And
No, you're supposed to say, I ain't had one audition.
I had one audition in a whole year. Yeah. And it was like, oh, okay, the universe is like, no, it's not happening for you.
Right, yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to take the plunge. Like, I can't tell my actors to, like, who I represented, you know, exhaust all efforts if you really want to do this. And I'm like, one foot out, 1 foot in.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go and try this thing called acting. And I was on unemployment really quickly because I didn't have any auditions. And that's when I had 81 cents on my bank account.
81 cents.
Yes.
That's just the fee just to have the money in the bank.
Correct. I had to borrow, I've told this story many times, but I have had to borrow money, gas money, to get to my This Is Us audition.
You are kidding me.
No.
Ooh,
No.
girl.
Because you didn't have to have $20 to even, like, swipe the card.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so.
This is an amazing story. Are you writing a book or something?
I have written a book.
You have?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of life lessons, not
Is
necessarily.
it available now?
Yes, this
Wait.
is me learning to love yourself.
On
today.
Amazon?
Yeah.
On Amazon?
Yeah.
This is me learning to love yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness. You know, so you were, hitting the hard yards in LA, hitting the pavement, going to auditions. Tell me about that.
Well, I didn't have many auditions. Let's be very clear. I could probably count on my hand how, I don't know, maybe 10 in like 3 years.
Oh, that's depressing.
Oh, yeah. And I had a lot of friends who were going on, 5, 6 a day. And it was tricky because, like, we always do that comparing and despairing thing. And I'm like, you know what? And I still do it. I'm like, I'm not going to be X person. I'm not going to be Y person. Like, I'm just who I'm going to be. And like, eventually life is going to catch up to art. And eventually it did, and thank goodness. But yeah, it was really tricky. It was really hard.
Well, you know what's interesting as I hear you talk? It's interesting because you are clearly anointed. You are clearly someone
don't make
who...
me cry.
No, it's the truth. And people, you need to hear this. Look at the series of events of how things have unfolded for you. The odds, first of all, for acting in show business are crazy.
Yeah.
Child, you have broken the odds. You are anointed, and you have to know that on a level. You have to know that on a level that you will always be courted into where you belong.
Well, thank you. And I think it's not about me, though. It's not about my ego. It's like, what am I supposed to be doing?
Right.
You know, how can I help others?
Well, it's not about your ego. It's a knowing. It's knowing that, look, from Gainesville, Florida to Miss RuPaul.
Yes!
And
exactly.
here you are,
Yeah.
and you know, and it's really great for everyone to hear that story, because I know, you know, you'd gotten very depressed during that time.
Oh yeah, it's easy to do, and you're sort of, and I think, you know, misery loves company. So, and then you just get down in that vortex. It's really hard to sort of shift and spin that ship
How
around.
did you shift that? How do you, when you're in the depths of despair, when you got so few auditions in LA, which is the loneliest place on earth, by the way.
Yeah.
The loneliest place on earth, because everybody's in their car.
Right.
What did you
Right.
do to get yourself out of there?
Well, it's interesting. Like, you have to really be broken down to be built up. And that's, on my 30th birthday, I had a crazy panic attack. And I was like, something is not right. Like, I was in a marriage that, like, he's an angel from the heavens, but I knew that wasn't right, and he knew it wasn't right. And I don't think if we were together, I would be in this position, because I was doing everything for him, you know, like, because I didn't believe in myself enough to be like, oh, I'm going to take that leap of faith. And so I had to really get rock bottom and say, like, this is not working. And I start every single day with gratitude. And I really am just so, I mean, things that we take for granted, whether it's our own breath or electricity, like running water.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, we are
Clean
so
air.
privileged.
Yeah.
So privileged. And I'm like, if anything, just as I am, I'm enough.
I heard
Just
that, girl.
as I
Let the
am.
church
So,
say
yeah.
amen.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Amen.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got more Chrissy Metz when we come back.
Yeah.
Stay right there.
Yeah.
I want to get you on that runway.
No, not today. Not today.
Well, apparently we've got someone calling in right now. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
I've been told that you're the best, Dr. Garrett.
I'm an expert at my field, ma'am.
No, you're the best. World-renowned, in fact. Or was I misinformed?
No, you were not.
I know that you don't know my son. But my John is a fighter and he doesn't give up. So I need you to go and be the best for John. Nothing less. And you just let God do the rest.
Oh, wow. That's a scene from Chrissy Metz's new movie called Breakthrough. Now, you say it's hard being a Christian in Hollywood.
Well, I think people have this idea and they fear what they don't know. I think we can all, you know, understand that. And, you know, your own spirituality and your own conscious contact with God is your own.
Yeah.
And so I think that people want to put you in a box or think it looks like this. And if you think this way, then you're not going to,
Right.
you know, and that's not necessarily true at all. So I think it's tricky because we have this idea of what a Christian person might look like or act like or, you know.
Yeah.
Belief.
Do you go to church here?
Sparingly. I went to Agape, which is a spiritual center.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people here in Hollywood go to Agape, and it's sort of not new age. It's just an open-minded way to. And your spiritual practice every day. You get down on your knees and pray.
You know, I need to get down on my knees more, but I definitely do pray. And
Wait
I
a
pray.
minute. Hold up now.
I know.
Wait a minute.
I know.
Do I need to start speaking in tongues up in here?
No. And I'm so thank you. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Do you know how to speak in tongues? Because I don't want to compromise your Christianity.
No, I don't know how to speak in tongues. Not yet, anyway. No, but you're right. I need
But
to do
wouldn't it
that.
be fabulous if you did?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that
I know,
would be
it's
so
kind of
good.
incredible, right?
I believe in everything.
Yeah.
I believe in everything. I pray every morning. I do. First of all, at my age, I have to get down and stretch first.
See, that's what my concern was. I was like, ooh,
Oh.
I might need a knee pad.
Yeah,
I have
'cause
wood floors.
yeah, well-
I need a rug or something. Sorry.
No, I do. I have a rug down there. I
Yeah.
stretch. I pray, and then and I meditate because
Yes,
I
meditate.
need all I can get my hands on to make it through this
Yeah,
this thing.
it's like medicine.
It is like medicine.
Yeah.
And all these young kids, I'm sure a lot of young kids come up to you and say, how do I do it? When you had all the clients, when you were assistant and helping all the actors, what do you say to them? What do you say to people who want to make it in show business?
Well, I think you have to really determine why you want to make it in show business. For me, it was I never related to anyone, and I felt like nobody could relate to me. I felt like I had nothing in common with anybody that I grew up with in Gainesville, Florida, which couldn't be farther from the truth, but that's what you think.
Right.
And so I say, like, are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to, like, put the time in and stand in line long enough and, like, figure out why you want to do it?
Yeah.
I think if it's fame and fortune, good luck with that.
Yes,
Ooh,
honey, yes.
And then also be careful what you wish for, because
Yeah.
you just might get it.
You just might get it.
So
tell me about the stories we tell ourselves. Even
Yeah.
the story you were saying of no, I don't relate to anyone, and a lot of times the hardest part is letting go of that story.
Mm-hmm.
How were you? I mean, you've had great blockbuster success. How have you, or have you let go of that old story you've told yourself in the past?
I mean, I can see her. She's there. But I've let go, but, like, it's still there.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's like
it's in my peripheral vision.
Yes, but I get farther and farther away from it. But sometimes, like, some days you're like, oh, you're right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What does this mean for today?
Yeah. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yes,
Right,
yes,
right.
Yeah.
And so it's just that constant practice of, like, this story is not true. And what I've told myself and I've made myself believe is not true.
Yeah.
One more.
The devil is a liar.
The devil is a lie.
The devil is a liar.
Hallelujah. Yes, that's right. It's true. It's so true. I went to a life coach and he said, you could have been going to give your mother a hug and she walked to the door because the doorbell rang.
Yeah.
And in my mind now I'm abandoned.
Yep,
Nobody loves me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all these things that we tell ourselves that aren't probably ever true.
No,
Yeah.
that's right.
So.
Do you still sing?
I do. I'm working on some music right now. I was in Nashville last week writing
Is
some.
it country music?
It's like country soul.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, soul country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you signed to a label? Or are we gonna...
No, I have not done that yet.
Well, who do you sound like? Where can we hear your music? Do you have
Well-
any music out now, like
Well-
on YouTube or anything?
Well, I did a song with Diane Warren, wrote a song called I'm
What?
Standing With You. It's for the Breakthrough soundtrack.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Diane is trying to get another Oscar.
Listen.
Well, she's trying to get one. She's
Yes,
been nominated 10 times.
I know.
So you guys, who produced it?
Kyle, her engineer, and yeah. And so it was for the soundtrack, and
What's
it
it
was
called?
like I'm Standing With You.
That is such a Diane Warren
Yeah,
title.
right. It's a big old ballad, right?
I'm standing with
well,
you.
Well, she was. If you see the movie Breakthrough, there's a beautiful moment where the entire congregation stands, and because he asks like, "Who's prayed for John?" And the entire congregation stand, and so she was inspired by that.
I
Yeah.
love that so much,
Yeah.
and I love you so much.
What? I love you.
Oh, my goodness.
Real.
So now you're going to stick with us for a minute,
Yes.
right? Okay.
If you'll have me.
No, absolutely.
Great.
I
All
want to
right
get you on that runway.
No, not today. Not today. No. I shouldn't have said anything. That's what I do. I get myself into trouble.
Well, I just always think that the runway is sort of a microcosm for life. It's
Agreed.
about standing tall and saying, yes, world, here I am. Love all of this right here, honey.
Yes, and I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, and you did it beautifully. These people did it wonderfully.
Well, they did,
And I might do it at home,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to do it here. I'll practice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come back.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Now, he made headlines for coming out at his valedictorian speech at Brigham Young University, a Mormon college, as you all know. Take a look.
As I'm sure many of you have felt, I recall countless times here at the Y where I have battled and fought in prayer with my Maker. It was in these quiet moments of pain and confusion that I felt another triumph. That of coming to terms not with who I thought I should be, but who the Lord has made me to be. As such, I stand before my family, friends, and graduating class today to say that I am proud to be a gay son of God.
Please welcome Matt Easton.
A little bit of love goes a long, long way. Lifting you up to a brighter day. A little bit of love goes a long, long way. Turn it around, wave you up and say, everybody say love, love,
Wow. Now, walk me through that day. Because first of all, if they did not know he was gay then, he's sitting up on RuPaul. They know he gay now. So walk me through that day. Now, your parents already knew that you were gay. And
Yes.
you are gay, currently gay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Are you're still gay, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So walk me through that day. It must have been really tough.
Absolutely. I mean, being a student at BYU, I'm sure many of you are aware, there's some pretty strict policies about being gay at our university. You're allowed to say it, which is only within the past 10 years was that allowed. But even still, we can't have relationships, can't date. And so, deciding to come out at BYU was so frightening. I wasn't sure what my peers were going to think, what some of my family members would think. So yeah, I was nervous the whole time. It was really scary.
Yeah, it's funny because I went to a college not unlike your own. I went to BYOB, and I never had to come out. Never had to come out. So, what was the biggest change that happened as a result of this?
Yeah, I mean, the response that I got from my community was overwhelming. I had people reaching out from all sides, whether they were Mormon or, no longer believed in the church, or they were, LGBT. Just so many people saying, thank you, and just embracing me to this new community. I loved it. It's been great.
Are you still a Mormon?
Day by day, I'm taking my relationship with God and just focusing on that right now.
Yeah. Have you seen Book of Mormon?
The musical? Of course I have.
Yeah.
It's great.
Is that what turns you gay?
Well, as try as I might, I couldn't turn it off.
Where do you live? Do you live in Utah?
Yep, so I live in Salt Lake City. I'm doing an internship right now, but studied political science, so I'd love to make it out to D.C. eventually.
Really?
Yeah, fingers crossed.
You'd want to do some political work like that?
Yeah, hopefully, make as much change for good as I could.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you.
Now, so apparently you were wearing something special under your robe when you did that speech. Was it something that I might wear?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. Is it very fashionable? I'm not
Let's see. What's it? What? So you're wearing something?
This wide strip, around my shoulder. It's called a stole of honor.
Yeah.
So when you wear it when you graduate, you can choose somebody to honor or sort of celebrate.
Yeah.
So I thought really hard about who I wanted to kind of celebrate, and I chose one of my classmates. His name is Harry Fisher. So we had a class together. It was my freshman year, so his senior year, and he decided that it was time for him to come out. He felt ready, so he came out on Facebook, and because of the response and sort of how our community treated him after coming out, he ended up taking his own life.
Oh no!
And as a freshman, a closeted, gay.
Oh, that's.
I saw him and I thought, is that my future? I had no other sort of frame of reference of what I could be or what I could do, and it frightened me. It scared me so much.
Yes.
And so I had this chance to give my speech as valedictorian, and I thought, we need more visibility. We need to show them that as gay students, we are here, and not just we are here, but we can contribute and be valedictorian. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. Oh, that is so awful. I think about all the kids out there who may be feeling the way Harry Fisher felt. What do you say to them? What would you say to them if they're watching us right now? What could you say to all the Harry Fishers out there?
If there's one thing I could say, it's that that they're not alone. We're not alone. You know, as a freshman, I felt like I was the only gay person at BYU, and that could not be more wrong. You know, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people who understand where I'm coming from, the issues I have to deal with, and same with them. You know, I'm here for them. You're here for them. There's so many people, and their life. There's so many good things in front of them.
And apparently, lots of celebrities have come forth to support you. Like who?
Oh my goodness, one of my all-time favorite celebrities, Kristen Chenoweth. She tweeted me.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and you know, she's actually quite big in the LDS community among Mormons.
The
and so,
what community?
Oh, LDS, Latter-day Saints. It's another name for Mormons. And so I think with her giving her stamp of approval, a lot of Mormons were like, okay, maybe that's not so bad. You know?
Yeah.
So thank you, Kristen, if you're watching this.
Well, apparently we've got someone calling in right now. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Oh, hi, RuPaul. This is Kristen Chenoweth.
Well, hello, Kristen. Give her a big give her a big round of applause, everybody.
RuPaul, and I wanted to just call in and say hi to Matt. You know I'm so proud of you, Matt Easton. You are, as a Christian person who's in show business, I know that it's hard, but I saw your speech, and I was so proud of you that I immediately tweeted. Oh, by the way, hi, Chrissy, girl. Anyway, I'm proud of you, and I love you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you so much.
Also, RuPaul, I just want to say this to Matt. Matt, yesterday I'm on location and I saw a church sign. It said, "God is still speaking," and He is still speaking. And I'm there for you always. You just reach out. I'm here. I love you.
I love it. God bless you, sweetheart. That's lovely. Thank you so much.
Oh,
You're welcome.
you.
Now, Matt, is there anything you want to say to Kristen?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm a huge fan. Thank you so much for reaching out. Yeah, you know, the first time I realized I was gay is when I was singing Popular to myself in my basement. So thank you for...
I make a lot of men realize they're gay, baby.
I
take it with pride.
Thank you.
Thank you, love. Now, Kristen, I hear you have something to say to Matt.
Yes, I have a lot to say to Matt, which we will get to later in private, baby. But I want to give you 2 tickets to my Park City, Utah concert on August 3rd. And if you want more tickets than that, it's with the Utah Symphony. I love you.
Yay!
Utah Symphony. And you come backstage and say hi.
Thank you, Kristen. I love it. All right, we're going to go to break. We'll see you in a minute.
Nora's the best widow ever. She's never sad. She wrote a book. She started a podcast. She started a nonprofit. Like, who could be doing better? But I was dying inside.
Okay, guys, this is one of those stories that's really sad, but I promise it will leave you feeling a whole lot better. A lot of hope in this story. Okay. At 31 years old, she had a miscarriage, lost her husband and her father all in a matter of weeks. But she channeled her grief into a movement that's now changing lives across the country. Please welcome Nora McInerney. You know, there's an ongoing theme on this show. It's about rebirth and turning something that was not so pleasant into something that is helpful to other people.
Yeah.
How did you learn that lesson? Because you're clearly doing it.
The hard way.
Yeah.
It's the way I prefer to learn all of my lessons.
Yes.
If I can. I learned it by watching, and by watching the person who I loved most in the world, my husband, Aaron, die for 3 years. Aaron was perfectly healthy. When I met him, he was wonderful. It was like what all of the love songs are about. Like, you meet someone and you know, and it clicks, and you're like, whoa, I've been doing it wrong. I've been like trying to convince all the wrong boys that I was the right girl, like the worst. Tale as old as time. If you're still dating, bless you.
Yes.
It is truly the pits. And I met Aaron, and it was wonderful. And then a year later, we found out he had a brain tumor.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't happen, right? That happens to other people until you're other people.
Yeah.
We had 1 year where he was healthy, where life was normal, where we were doing regular people stuff. And then we had 3 years where we were doing regular people stuff, like getting married and having a baby, but also going to chemo and radiation and writing his obituary together. And,
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So really kind of a strange place to be falling in love and saying goodbye at the same time. But Aaron did it so gracefully. He literally never complained.
Yeah.
He really didn't. And I watched him die, and I watched all of his potential go with him. And I think when something awful happens, and it is truly awful, when the person you love the most in this world dies, no one would blame you if you shut yourself off and
that's
curled
right.
yourself around it. It kind of, it feels natural to do. But when I think about Aaron, I really don't think mostly about his death. I think about his life.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I'm going to live in a way that honors his life and doesn't just memorialize his death, then I have a responsibility to live.
That's right. That's right.
And,
That
like,
is your
really
gift.
live.
That is your gift to him and his legacy.
Yeah.
So did you indeed take some time to just mourn? Did you take that time?
I didn't do the best job at that. Really, I was in shock, which is a hell of a drug. Like your
Yes.
brain is like, I'll pack this up.
Yeah.
You just stay on autopilot. You just keep brushing your teeth and no one will know.
Which is what most people do. Yeah.
And I did. I brushed my teeth. I wore lipstick. I looked good basically every day. And I told everyone I was fine.
Yeah.
And I'm a really good actress, Chrissy. So, like, everyone believed me. People were like, Nora's the best widow ever. She's
Yeah.
never sad. She wrote a book. She started a podcast. She started a nonprofit. Like, who could be doing better? But I was dying inside. I was so crushed, and I did not have the vocabulary to just say to the people who cared about me, I don't know what I'm doing. This hurts so bad, and I don't know what kind of help I need, but I know I need something.
Yeah.
And I just completely did not do that. I did quit my job. Not super recommended if you're a mom
Yeah.
who now doesn't have, like, a husband.
Because you need money.
You do need money. Your
Yes.
mortgage company does not care.
They don't care.
They literally
Yeah.
don't care.
So how were you able to process it? So you wrote a
Yeah.
book, you did this stuff, and then it must have just hit you like
Yeah.
a
Hit me-
ton of bricks.
It hit me at the best time, at the most convenient time, which was when I fell in love again.
Right.
But like grieving, truly grieving is a privilege. And in the US, we are not good at giving people
No.
that privilege. The average
That's right.
bereavement leave in the US is 3 to 5 business days. So if you're lucky enough to have a full-time job, go check your benefits.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if your husband dies, you're going to be back at work the next Wednesday.
That's right. Now, as a
Yeah.
result of finally unpacking all of this grief, what good came out of that? Because you went on to start a relief for other people.
Yeah, yeah. I've done...
It's called
I think-
Hot Widows Club.
Hot Young Widows Club.
Oh, don't forget the young.
Hot Young Widows Club. And everybody's invited, by the way.
So it's a support group for people to deal with grief.
Yeah, it's a peer-based online support group
Oh, it's
that has.
online.
It's online, but it of course grows and grows, and people connect offline. Widows have fallen in love with each other and gone on vacations,
Really?
and they show up for each other.
Yeah.
They show up because what's so important is that you just have somebody who gets it.
I think it's so brilliant what you've done, because I believe that the crucifixion is meaningless without the resurrection. And that is what you are doing. We're going to talk more about this when we come back. Stay there.
The hardest thing about grief is humility, and it's hard for the griever to say, I don't know what to do right now, and
Right.
say, I really don't know what to say.
Minneapolis native Nora McInerney started the Hot Young Widows Club after losing her husband at 31. Now, her podcast, Terrible, Thanks for Asking, has been downloaded 14 million times.
Wow.
Which is very interesting because, Americans, we don't know how to deal with grief. And having a place to go is so important for us, especially in the 21st century.
Yes.
We need to deal with this because that explains so much of the violence, because it comes out in other places.
Yep.
What's some of the craziest things people have said to you trying to be sort of helpful in your grief?
Okay, at Aaron's funeral, I did look very good. Like, it was important to Aaron that I looked good. Like,
Yeah.
I looked amazing. Also, like, I just did. I had been, like, not eating
Ooh, that's fabulous.
You know, yeah, so I was like like my muscles were like popping.
Yes.
Like I was wearing white as per his instructions.
Yeah.
And someone said, you know, you're still pretty.
Oh.
I think you're gonna meet someone.
Oh, boy.
And I was like here?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like now? Because it does seem a little soon. It's been like 5
So
days.
tell me this, what should someone have said to you?
Someone should have said, and many people did, like, I'm so sorry, and I don't know what to say.
Yes.
I just don't know what to say. It's like the hardest thing about grief is humility, and it's hard for the griever to say, I don't know what to do right now. And it's hard for the people around them, especially in the States, just to be incompetent.
Yeah.
And to just admit your incompetence
That's
and
right.
say, I really don't know what to say. But the Jewish tradition for grieving includes like 7 days of
You mean sitting
intense
Shiva?
grief.
Yeah.
And where the griever gets to say what they want or say nothing, and they set the tone. Now, I grew up Catholic, and you just like show up and you start talking, and you don't stop, and you like talk about like whatever. You're like, wow, look at this rug. Oh my gosh, this mug. What's in it? Oh, water. I love water. You're just like, I'm going to keep talking and distract you. And maybe this person doesn't want to be distracted.
Right.
And maybe they don't need to. Maybe what you need is to actually feel it. If you don't deal with it, it will deal with you eventually, which is exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
It will catch up. You can only run so fast and so far.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear how you guys have dealt with grief. Now, Ross, I would imagine you would reenact the scene from with Sally Field in
Steel Magnolias?
Steel Magnolias. Is that
I
what you-
could do that scene for you right now if you'd like.
You would like that.
Now,
Don't talk about me like I'm not here. I know, a different scene, but that's a good one too.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough when I can tell that you are like an outgoing person, and we're supposed to be funny, right? And in these times of tragedy, and I remember losing my father at a young age, and there was still funny in it. And I felt guilty about that. Like, if I could hear people laughing or I'd laugh, I go, how can I laugh if he's not here to laugh anymore, you know?
Right.
How do you sort of deal with that survivor's guilt of it, you know? Was that innate to you? Did you just know that?
I mean, my husband was very funny and my dad was very funny. So as Aaron was dying, he said, I will always be with you. So you need to shut the door when you pee.
See, he's funny. That's funny.
That's the thing is people don't know what grief looks like, and grief is not just crying.
Exactly.
And so you will laugh. You'll laugh at very, very funny things that happen. You'll laugh at sad things that happen, but you should never feel like it's your job as like the griever to entertain the people around you and make them comfortable with your discomfort.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the difference.
Yeah, because I know Michelle is very much the comforter. When your mother passed away, I imagine that you comforted everyone else. Who sings for the Songbird, Michelle?
Me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. You were with me through it. But when that happened, I was 30. My mom was very young. She was 56. And the first thing, literally, the minute the respirator stopped, my dad said, will you still call every day? So it went right into me then being the matriarch. And I really had no time to grieve.
Yeah.
And what I did was just then, when I eulogized her, was very funny. I took center stage and I had joke after joke after joke.
Yeah.
And I took care of everybody. I still do to this day because I have a younger brother. My dad's still going, and I didn't really have time to do the sad thing.
Yeah.
There have been moments where it's like she's gone and I'm empty. She didn't get to meet my kids and all that stuff, which is devastating. But there's not a day that I don't go, I know you're with me.
Yeah.
I know she's with me. We know she's with me.
Yes, absolutely. Chrissy, have you had to grieve?
I have a hard time. I'm sort of, we all know I'm a very emotional girl. So I have no trouble crying, but it's actually coming to terms with like how I really feel and the guilt. Specifically like, oh, I didn't call my grandmother enough. I didn't see her as often as I should have. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I tend to, of course, internalize it and beat myself up for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which is not productive, folks. And then of course I make jokes about it.
Sure.
'Cause I can't handle it.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
laugh about it.
Yeah.
So,
Now, Matt's very young. What do you say to young people? What would you say to Matt? What do you say to someone as young as he is?
None of your friends are going to get it. None of your friends are going to get it until it happens to them. And that sucks. That really stinks. It really does. It's very hard when the people you love the most are not there for you, but the people who do show up are the right people.
I heard that.
They are.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. God, we sure did cover a lot of ground today. Chrissy Metz, Matt from BYU, Kristen Chenoweth, grief.
We went there.
We did it all. Good grief. We did a lot of stuff. But that's, honestly, if people knew us, they know that we speak in non sequiturs. We're like bouncing all over the place.
Yes, exactly.
And we're going to bounce some more. I'm noticing that, Michelle, you have some dental work done.
Yes!
What did you have done?
I came through dripping.
Word.
I got a diamond put in my tooth.
Look at
Oh my
that.
God,
Can you
girl.
see it?
You are from the hood.
Shauna, that is crazy.
You got a diamond. Girl, you are ghetto.
Thank you. Jersey represent.
Yes.
I got a potato Pringle put in here.
Did you?
The barbecue Pringle.
Oh, I love it. Yum.
So are you going to keep it there forever?
Yes, it's a diamond.
And so what if you swallow it?
Then I'll have diamonds somewhere else.
That's $1 million smile.
My goodness, so
Not
you didn't have to pay for it, did you?
Come on now. Come on now.
I know Miss Michelle
Oh, you
Visage.
do.
This girl, if there's a swag bag within 500 yards,
I can smell it.
she gon' get it.
I am a hustler.
You are a hustler.
Yeah.
It's really cute, though.
Isn't it? It's just like perfect positioning.
Yeah, because, and that's your natural tooth.
Yes, because these have veneers, so they couldn't put them up there.
Yeah, they couldn't put it on a veneer.
No, it just had to be a porous tooth surface.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
You do.
Yeah.
You're a diamond girl.
I am. Oh, remember that?
Yes. Actually,
Nice and
we have that in
wild.
the playlist.
Good.
We're going to go break. We'll be right back after this.
Aren't you going to get...
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like us, spread the word and tell us what you think on social channels. Now, today's home slay of the day goes to Kayla Mathis, who watches us on Fox 11 here in Los Angeles. Kayla is a dancer whose moves won her slay of the day. Go, Kayla, girl. Do you got some diamonds in your teeth? All right, Kayla, girl. Bye, everybody. Bye.